Nice.
All right, EJ Brooks, the pretty boy. You catch any shit for that?
Man, always. Actually, I randomly got somebody said something to me today. One of the janitors at the school, well, security guards at the school, said something. What's up, pretty boy? And I was just like, all right, man.
Is that one of those things where you wish you had had a little bit more foresight, like as you get older, that you don't maybe want to be called the pretty boy? Like you thought it was cool.
Nah,
You
I,
still like it?
it's all right. I mean, basically, the way I look at it is people acknowledging my fight career and who
Yeah,
I am outside of like normal EJ Brooks. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I'm kind of shy about that. It's crazy that sounds. Like EJ shy and humble. Like
yeah,
yeah, like when people acknowledge me, like, hey man, you're not like necessarily you're a big deal, but like you're not just a normal person. Like you've accomplished some stuff and shit
yeah,
like that. When people give me acknowledgement and in a positive way, I'm just kind of like, man, thanks.
yeah. It's really hard. I mean, it is kind of weird. Like, how do you take that acknowledgement or that praise, if you will? I remember, man, back in the day, you used to say like you used to not even tell people that you were a fighter.
Oh yeah, definitely wouldn't, definitely wouldn't. But that was more of like, well, if it was a girl and I liked her, I didn't want her like liking me because I was a fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then a lot of times, back when we came up,
yeah,
everybody thought, oh, I can do UFC. So if they thought you were a fighter, they just try to try you. And I was like, yeah, I ain't
yeah.
got time for that.
That was an interesting time too. This is whenever like if you're a UFC fighter, like that was actually a really big deal because there's very few of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was almost impossible to get in.
yeah,
Now, basically, all you got to do is win like 5 in a row. You can get a call, because it's easier to get in and it's easier to get cut now.
yeah,
You know, like basically, when we were coming up, it was hard, especially for me, because of my notoriety with wrestling.
yeah.
It was hard to get a pro fight. I couldn't get a fight for nothing. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember it was
Oh,
really hard for you to get a fight in the area. I
man,
think Jim Jenkins maybe got you a fight.
yeah, and then my opponent backed out the day of weigh-ins.
Oh, for real?
A lot of people don't know that.
I didn't know that.
And then they literally the guy I fought that night was coming as a warm-up partner for his teammate.
Oh shit.
So he made his pro debut against me because they were like, "Yo, we'll pay you 500 if you step in and fight this guy."
Oh man.
And then his coach was like, "He know he ain't gonna win. Could you not mess him up?" So I just took him down and submitted him.
Oh, well, you're such a nice guy.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, he saved the show. I sold more than half of the tickets.
Oh, for real?
I sold hundreds. Like
Mm.
I know I went back to Jim Jenkins 3 times for tickets.
Oh, see, I didn't know who Jim was at this time,
Uh,
and I know like you were fighting on his card, and then I think Rice House at the time maybe got a fight on one of his cards. The same with Sampo.
yeah.
I think maybe even Alp. So I wasn't even really sure who he was. I just know that a lot of people fought on his card.
Yep. Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Russell,
Yep.
living in Australia now, down under, mate.
Yeah.
Could
Yeah,
you live down there?
Actually, I could. We I just fought there.
You did just fight there.
Yeah, and Bobby came. Bobby
Oh
drove
yeah,
down to my fight. It was
that's so
pretty
dope.
cool, man.
Yeah.
Uh, it was on. It was pretty cool down there.
Man, there's just so much shit that can kill you though.
Well, depending on where you living. And I
Yeah.
was in the city. I guess I wasn't out in the jungle. But yes, I could live in the city. The people are interesting. I'll say that.
How's that?
Man, super friendly. Um, I kind of had a feeling they were kind of strange down there. But the confirmation I got was me and Kirk were walking the street looking for like a gas station to get some like fruit or something 'cause we couldn't find a convenience store. So
Okay.
we're like, all right, you gotta have a gas station. Gonna have some random apples and oranges and stuff like that. We see this sign and it says, "No sex with koalas." Then and then
What?
and then in fine print it says there has been a chlamydia outbreak due to sexual contact with koalas. And I'm just in here like, how messed up is it around here that you gotta let people know don't go out there and ban koala bears.
Dude, what?
I'm not kidding,
What are
man.
these? What's going on?
I don't know,
It
man.
only takes one to ruin it.
Yeah,
Well, is that any different than like in Louisiana where like bestiality is still legal? Is it still legal? I could be
I
making that
think
up,
it is.
but it was for a really
I
long
just
time.
randomly looked that up because I was having a conversation with somebody yesterday about this guy who was from a village in Ecuador. I'm not even gonna say his name because he's a pretty well-known fighter. He was like, "Yeah, in my country, when you turn 13, they give you a goat." And I was like, "All right, they give you a goat. All right,
Cool, yeah.
you milk it, you
Get some
raise it."
cheese.
And he was like, "No, no, you get the goat." And I'm like, "All right, you get the goat." Like, what you trying to tell me, man? Yeah, I guess they lose their virginity to goats
At
when
13,
at 13. Like it's a
at
rite of passage or whatever.
that particular village in Ecuador.
Yeah,
Holy shit,
and
man.
apparently he said that they lose their virginity to the goat, and then when their wife is pregnant, for them not to step out on their wife, they're supposed to use a goat because even relieving yourself is frowned upon.
What?
Man, I wanted to say he was lying, but one, who would make that up? And two, why would you just tell somebody? So I knew he wasn't lying. He was looking at me like, you never had goat?
Dude, I mean, not in that regard. No
I
animal
was like,
ever.
shoot.
Yeah, I'm not into the
Every time I
animals.
saw him, all I heard was bah. Couldn't even look at the dude.
Dude, that's funny. People are weird.
Yeah,
People are really weird. There are a lot of strange rituals and shit around the world in these different
yeah.
tribes. It's
I
crazy
couldn't.
stuff.
I couldn't do one.
What's the craziest shit you've encountered with your travels?
Ooh. Craziest traveling.
Or something that just stuck out to you?
Okay, I was in Argentina a few years ago, way down bottom of South America, and the um the people I was there with, in my hotel, they was like, don't don't go out late at night, you might get robbed. And I was like, all right, no brainer. They're like, yeah, the kids around here are bad. I said, the kids? They was like, yeah, and they was like, yeah, you'll get jumped by a group of 12-year-olds. They'll stab you and cut you and this and that. They hang out at this club over here. I was like, they just hang around a club? And they was like, oh, no, it's a club for kids. I was like, they have clubs for kids? Like, forget the fact that they going to rob me. You know what I'm saying? I've seen that in the hood. But you actually have nightclubs for kids, not teenagers, kids. And they was like, yeah. And then I saw it because I got hungry and I walked late. And sure enough, there are a bunch of like 11, 12-year-old kids in line for this nightclub.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night.
Like they're adults.
Dude, it was crazy. I was like, wow, who was
Dude,
with me?
people are strange. Where you said this was in where? In
Ecuador,
Argentina? Ecuador,
Argentina, my bad.
Argentina. Wow.
I was right outside of Buenos Aires. Yeah.
Hmm. Man, South America's a strange place. I want to go.
Yeah,
I'll,
just
I'll fit right in.
go to the right place. Because I'll
Yeah.
probably never go there again.
You never go back?
Nah.
Damn. So fighting's taking you all over the world as of late.
Yeah, I've been lucky. Yeah, Australia, Italy. Um, I was about to fight in Sweden before that card got canceled. I was so pissed. I was looking forward to that
Was
one.
that right before wrestling season?
It would have been in, I want to say, August or September. It's been so long.
Oh, okay.
Think it was late August.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember you training for that fight.
yeah,
Coach Brooks.
yeah.
Is it hard to like balance that with like the travel and stuff with fighting right now? Because which fighting promotion are you with now?
I'm with ACA now. It was ACB, but they uh, fired a bunch of people because of whatever was going on with them canceling shows.
Okay.
Somebody messed up in the front office, so they, I think, fired a bunch of people, and then the people taking over it now named it ACA instead of ACB. Um, but yeah, I'm with them, and Actually, we working on a fight right now.
Yeah. So I mean, they've been sending you quite a, like that was the fight in Australia, right? And that
Hmm.
was the fight
In Italy.
in Italy, right? So is most of the fights that you probably get with them like going to be like overseas?
Yeah.
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 How is it like balancing that and coaching? Because I mean, for the folks listening, you're the head coach of the Cahokia
Comanches.
Comanches, the wrestling program there in Southern Illinois, and fucking you guys are killers. Like a really good program, and that takes a lot of time.
Yeah, it does. For a while I was at Granite City as an assistant,
Right.
and
You've been coaching for some time now.
yeah, I've been coaching for a while. I've been coaching since fall of 2009. Um, but it's my first year as a head coach. You know, the balancing act has kind of been the same. There's a little more responsibility.
Yeah.
Like I literally have a season. It's if I don't fight by October, I'm done because wrestling season starts in November.
Yeah.
You know, and it's the goal is to work out as much as possible, stay in some kind of shape if possible, and give these kids 100% of what I got, my time, energy, and my focus. You know, on helping them be the best wrestler they can be. Because if I don't do that, I'm not. I'm selling them short. You know, so every wrestling season I kind of shut it down, work out when I can. Um, Commit to the wrestlers, and then when season is over, it's like, okay, now I'm the main priority. Like I
Hmm.
don't forget about my kids, but it's like, hey, I got to get in shape ASAP so I can take a fight by April or May and be ready as soon as something calls. Because more than likely, whatever fight I was going to get was going to be short notice.
Yeah.
You know, it was rare that I was going to get a fight camp. Now it's pretty much the same thing, and I just have to be more professional about it to the sense where like, okay, her, I'm not just training now. What am I doing for my kids in the off season? How am I gonna get them better? You know, what am I gonna do for them? So now I've laid out. I literally just finished this today, which is so funny.
Hmm.
Laid out my off season schedule,
Okay.
like so my kids know, like, hey, Coach Brooks is training these days. I'm doing this. These days, hey, we getting an open workout. These days we going to travel to go train with this team. These days we going out of town for this tournament, this camp, and this and that. Boom, 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 boom. These are the dates. Everything else you do on your own. If you want to go somewhere, ask me, should you go to this? You know, do I want you training with this team? Stuff like that. And the good thing is my kids aren't like super on me about what we're doing because the old coach didn't know off season stuff.
Oh, really?
They not even used to this. Like they
Oh.
used to like seasons over in February.
See you next year.
Yeah, see you in November.
Oh,
Like I did the first preseason they ever had. Like this was the first time
wow.
they even did any kind of preseason
No
work, and I was
summer
just
camps or anything?
nothing.
Damn.
Like so they're just excited. Hey, we're doing something.
Yeah.
And that's good.
Man, and you had a really successful year in that, your first season as a head coach. You had two state placers
Hmm.
and in Illinois, which there's only two classes, right, in
That's
Illinois?
three.
There's three
Yeah.
now? Okay. And that's really hard to do. And one of them took what went D1?
Yeah, he's going D1. Yeah, yeah. He
Yeah.
won it. He won state undefeated. He signed early. He signed before he even won the title, which was great. And he saw that I was right about telling him to do that. Um, people really don't understand that. Scholarships come and go. You can be the man one day, and then the next day you're kind of nobody. Like people only remember what you've done lately.
Yeah.
You could win 3 straight titles in a row. You lose your senior year.
It's like it never even
It's
happened.
like it never happened. Seriously, like the guy who beat you could take second 3 years in a row. He beat you your senior year. He's the man.
Yeah.
He's on top.
Oh, yeah.
You know. So my kid, last year he took second to state, but then he went to high school nationals and he took second. You know, he went to Virginia Beach duels and he cleaned house. So he was on the national radar. I think he was ranked top 10 right off the bat. And all these schools were like, hey, we want him. We want to talk to him, this and that. And I said, look, dude, you need to sign early. And he was like, well, I want to weigh my options. I like, you got all your options right here. I'm like, these same schools right here will more than likely be here at the end of the season when you win state. But if you get hurt, they not gonna be there. If you get upset, they not gonna be there. And like, remember how you came out of nowhere last year as a junior? There's somebody coming out of nowhere this year.
Yeah.
Okay, and you don't want them to be beating you and taking all that thunder that you took. All those guys that were nationally ranked that you came out of nowhere and beat and took their thunder, somebody's training, you know what I'm saying, and getting better and hitting puberty and hitting that growth spurt
Yeah.
like you did, and they could possibly beat you. And I'm like, you got these people like wanting to sign you, giving you this. Let's negotiate these deals, which I did a good job helping him do and understand how recruiting works. And we got the best possible scholarship he could get, and I think a phenomenal school that fit him perfectly.
Yeah.
You know, and I was more proud of my job helping him make that decision and get the best deal he could get than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And dude, I mean, he had a really good guide for that process because I
Yeah.
mean, you've been through that
I've been
process.
through that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the thick of the process, right? Because you went to a JUCO school and then you got recruited to like a D1 school, right? So it's like you went through
Big
kind of
time D1.
yeah, a huge D1 program. So like that's I mean, that's you went through like the entire gauntlet of the
Yeah.
process.
You know, it's funny because I got people going to hate about everything. You know, not everybody can be happy. So I come home and you know, his old coach, the old head coach, didn't help him with anything.
Yeah.
You know,
And he
so
took second with no help at all already.
yeah, I was talking more about his recruiting
Right, right.
to school. Yeah, but
Okay.
no, he had people helping him through. I helped him. You know, throughout his career, his kids club coach, his middle school coach, and the assistant coach at the high school, they all played a big part. And I said, I had worked with him in middle school. I had worked with him a little bit in high school. So he had people helping him along the way. And I'll say, even before this year, I played a small role in helping him become the man that he became going into this season. And
Yeah.
I know I helped him grow a lot this season,
Oh yeah.
mainly from a maturity level.
Mhm.
So um, I'm helping him with recruiting, and people are like, oh, he was already good. Those D1 schools were already recruiting him before Brooks came in. You know, and Brooks is acting like, he got him that scholarship. And I was just like, I didn't get him that scholarship. He did. No one got him that scholarship but him.
Yeah.
He wrestled. He put in the time, the effort, the work to be the wrestler that he was.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen a kid have the potential and the ability and he just not do what he's supposed to do?
Oh, countless times.
You know,
Dude.
are you taking credit for that kid not succeeding? No. Okay. But when he does what he's supposed to do and he wins, now you want to say, oh, I did that.
Yeah.
Okay. What about when he just decides, you know what? I'm going to fuck off. Yeah. You're going to say, oh, that ain't my fault. He decided not to do it. Oh, okay. Well, this kid decided to do all the right things.
Yeah.
Okay. He had good guidance and he did it. Now, what I was proud of for myself was, like you said, I went big time D1. Not
Yeah.
just a regular Division I school, Big 12.
Yeah.
I was at a Big 12 school. I seen them recruit other guys. They recruited me. I know what big time programs say. I know what offers they put on the table. And when it all came down to it, I told Jay, I'm trying not to say his name. I was like, look, man, every place we're going to go, they going to tell you full ride. Okay? They going to tell you you won't have to pay for school. And for a kid from the hood who don't have a daddy around, raised by a single mother, has never been out of the hood outside of like going on wrestling trips, like that's going to sound big to you. You made it. And I'm like, you're blessed because you've earned the right to be paid like a superstar.
Oh shit.
Like you're not just a regular D1 recruit. There are a lot of guys who get D1 scholarships and somewhat full rides. And then there are guys who are supposed to be national champions.
Yeah.
Like this kid, by most people, they think he's going to be a top 4 guy in his career. Probably junior, senior year, he should be competing for a title. that's the kind of potential he has.
Okay.
Like you're not just some guy they think that's going to fill a room. He might be an All-American. No, they think you're probably going to be competing for titles. All
Yeah.
right, that's how good this kid can be. So I'm like, dude, we finna negotiate. They ain't finna just tell you full ride because full ride means okay, we give you this much money, financial aid pays this much, uh, and you don't have to come out of pocket for school. What about personal living expenses? What about you want to go out and hang out with friends? You don't have extra money.
Right. And then what are you gonna do? You have
What are you
no
gonna do?
time for a job
Yeah,
already.
you don't have time for a job,
Yeah. How
you
do you
know,
cover
and you
books and
can't do
all?
work study,
Yeah.
you know. So basically, without going into great detail, every school said exactly what I said, and you should have seen his eyes blow up. Like when I say we would be on a plane flying to where we were going, I'd be like, hey, look, I guarantee you this coach gonna say this, he gonna say this, he gonna show you this. I'll be
Yeah.
like, this is what this means. This is BS. This is some stuff that sounds good, and because you're a kid from the hood, they think that's what you want to hear, but
Yeah.
that's fluff, that's bull. So when they would say exactly, and I'm talking about sometimes word for word what I said to him, he would just look over at me and smile, and I'd be like, just keep,
Yeah.
let him talk. Um, so at the end of the day, I'm talking in circles. The reason why I was so proud was he went from every school giving him where he didn't have to pay for school to every school making sure he had maximum money. He got his financial aid back in his pocket. Okay?
Mm.
So not only are you not paying for school, okay, you're getting your financial aid back. That to me is a full ride.
Yeah.
Not only do I not pay for nothing, I'm getting paid to go to school.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, yeah, I'm taking credit for that. Because if anybody else had handled that, they would be like, oh man, sign a dotted line. You don't have to pay for school.
Yeah, man.
Like, no, dude, you need money in your pocket.
Dude, that guidance you gave him is so invaluable.
Yeah.
I can remember just being recruited by like small schools like Lindenwood and shit. I didn't have anybody to walk me through that process, and it can be a very daunting like task to like fucking visit schools and talk to these coaches and try to figure out all these murky waters. College is already, it's fucking, it's
It's a
man,
business.
it's a business to the fullest,
Yeah.
man, and they make it complicated.
Yeah.
Like,
And if you don't have the right representative, man, like just they know, man, it's like the car salesman. They
yeah,
know when they're talking to someone who doesn't know anything. Like if a parent you bring a ghetto kid and his ghetto mama and they just for lack of experience and knowledge don't know any better
yeah,
and you showing them all this big glamorous stuff and
these
saying
buildings are
big
nice, and
words and
yeah,
saying this and the mama's like, oh, I just want my son out the hood. They finna take care of my baby. You better make sure. You got to know the right questions to ask
yeah,
and stuff like that. Like honestly, I'm not even gonna say what school it was, but it was a big time program. They was recruiting my kid hard, and it wasn't the head coach, but it was the head coach's like recruiter. He was a black guy. I might even be giving away what school it was. He didn't do his homework, and he's part of the main reason why my kid didn't go to school there. He didn't do his homework because he knew nothing about me.
okay,
Now you're bringing this kid in, and his head coach is coming in. The way he talked and the things he said, if he had did any homework on me and just knew, hey, I went D1, just that I went D1, he wouldn't have been saying the stuff he was saying
oh
and
yeah.
doing the things he was doing. And when he finally realized, like basically,
What was some of the things he was doing?
he he was well, one, he kept trying to get my kid separated from me to
Okay,
try to get a verbal
a little
commitment from.
divide and conquer.
Yeah, yeah. Because you know if they give him a verbal commitment, like no other schools can talk to him.
I didn't know
Because you
that.
don't have to sign. And I know that. And I actually told my kid, I said, watch. I said, they going to try to pull you to the side when I'm not around, you know, and corner you and try to get you to give them a verbal commitment. And you tell them, no, you got other recruiting trips. You're enjoying yourself, but you can't do that. Dude tried to do it 2 or 3 times.
Oh man.
Yeah. You know, they be like, oh, we're finna go up here and order food up here while you guys go get that and this and that. And I just look at my kid like, watch. And then he like, and then they'll come back. I was like, he tried to get you a verbal. He's like, yeah. I was like, told you. Like that
Dude,
really happened.
like these are the tactics.
These are the tactics, yeah. So, anyway, he was talking about stuff. Those things that I said that are like that BS.
Hmm.
You know, like they sound good, and they make people who don't know any better want to go to school there. But I'm just like, that's nothing. And he kept like bringing up stuff. I'm just like, man, this dude thinks I'm an idiot. You know.
Yeah.
So then finally, the head coach, he wrestled in my era. Okay, he kept saying, man, dude, your name sounds familiar, like, and you look familiar. And I was like, I wrestled at Mizzou, and I used to see you at Midlands all the time. He's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, we stood out. You know, it's not a lot of, you know, colored people, because he was mixed, but like,
Okay.
you know, there's not a lot of colored good wrestlers back then. I say back then, that was like 10 years ago now.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, we stood out. He's like, that's what it was. And you should have seen his assistant coach's face when a light bulb hit. He was like, oh, this guy was a D1 college athlete, and I've been throwing out this BS
Yeah.
for like a full day.
He's been talking to you like you don't know anything.
Like, I don't know anything. And then I don't know that what he's saying is bull.
Right.
Like, dude, I saw the look on his face. He was like, and I was like, yeah, you done fucked up.
Yeah. I have such an issue with like the entire college system. One, the NCAA.
We should be getting paid. Like, well, I say we, like, college
Yeah.
athletes should be
Well,
getting paid.
you
Yeah.
were one at one point,
Yeah.
so I can understand why you say that, right?
Yeah.
Because they should. College athletes should get paid, and I feel like they hold them to this ridiculous standard, or like,
They're paying for our school.
we're paying for school, you're getting a free education, you should be happy. And it's like, I think for some athletes that is true. For some athletes who aren't like in like the revenue generating sports, I mean, I feel like not being loaded up with a shit ton of debt is a really good thing.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I mean, these football, players, basketball players,
yeah.
these wrestlers at certain universities,
At Mizzou, I feel like we was making them some money, man, because we were
depending
pretty
on the
good back
university,
then.
yeah, dude, Mizzou's one of them.
Yeah.
Fucking probably like Nebraska. I would imagine like at Iowa or somewhere.
Oh man, Iowa
Penn
State,
State.
Oklahoma State.
Yeah, those schools, wrestling is fucking, that's a big program, right?
Yeah.
So just depending on some of the other programs, but I mean, I don't know what sport to even throw out there. I mean, baseball will make some money, but if you're like a fucking volleyball player or something like that, like you're probably not bringing a lot of money in for the school. So like it is probably really beneficial for those students to get to get a full ride fucking scholarship to
Yeah,
where
you should be getting something. I mean, because I remember the NCAA football game?
what about them?
Like, those were big.
No, they're huge.
Yeah, like,
They're still huge. People, I mean, gosh, it's a whole spectacle.
yeah.
The amount of money that's getting like
And the way
filtered through
they
there.
didn't have to pay you was they just put your number on
Yeah.
your jersey.
Dude, but then they'll turn around and they'll sell that number in Walmart.
Yep.
And how many people are buying,
Buying
that
that jersey,
You
yep.
know what I mean? It's like we got to pay these
Making
people.
bank.
Yeah, man, you got athletes who their full-time job really is like they call them student athletes, but they're like athlete students. Like your full-time job is your sport. I mean, you're watching film depending on what sport you're in, but at least you're weightlifting or you have team meetings and practices and it never ends. Travel and like you got to get your homework done in between all that shit and
I remember travel laptop, travel tutors. We had people that would get on the travel bus with us and give us tests, and it was pretty cool back then. But
feel like an all-star.
yeah, I did sometimes when I was being treated right, which wasn't rare. I mean, which was rare.
Yeah. How many times were you just like short on money? You know what I mean? Like you needed money for shit and like you just couldn't get a job.
I was actually really good with money, so that rarely happened.
They
But that's
hit
just
you?
because
Was that something you saw though?
what's that?
Was that something that you saw happen with like
Oh
other
yeah,
students?
other guys, yeah.
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 I feel like I was
Like
talking.
when you say short on money, like yeah, that happened. But when I say like I was never like hurting because I always budgeted. Like I grew up having to manage money and live on a like tight dime my whole life.
Yeah.
You know, so like that, I never got into that. Stuff
Okay,
like that,
you never
yeah.
started like balling out. You see some students just ball
No.
out when they get to school.
Nah. Honestly, man, tell you the truth, people don't know this dude. When I got to Mizzou, like they gave me a lot of money.
Did
They,
they?
they when they recruited me, they thought I was gonna be competing for a title. So I got that deal I was telling you about. Like I got paid, son. I got my financial aid back, and I was sending my refund checks to my mom
Oh, for real?
because I was like, okay, rooms paid for. I got free meals. My cell phone bill is only like $60 back then. It was
Yeah.
like $60. I got a car, but I rarely need to drive. Everything's in walking distance. Like I was probably spending maybe $200 a month.
Oh man, yeah, you're
Like I,
living.
I wasn't buying anything. My food was free everywhere. Like,
Yeah, Columbia's a cheap
and
city
then
too.
I was an athlete, so like even the clubs and bars, I was getting in free, drinking free. When I was drinking, it was like I never spent money.
Yeah.
Um, so I was getting like $500 here and there. Like, Mama, you good? Boom, I'm sending you that. You know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can dig that. I mean, that's an easy town to do it in too. I mean, Columbia's a small town.
Yeah.
It's not very big,
Not
so
very
it's
big.
like when you're well known, like you can make it happen. Like you said, you know a lot of people,
Yeah.
and then also it's just not expensive to live there. But here's also my other issue with colleges. Fucking when as soon as the government got involved and they started subsidizing all of the loans, meaning that they'll say everybody is guaranteed to get a loan for school. Because of that, universities what they did was they're like, all right, cool. Well, now we know that no matter how much money this costs, like the government's gonna back it and pay for this. So now, then tuition skyrockets. It far exceeds inflation, right? And I think the cost of school is like quadrupled since like the 70s or some shit. It's like fucking crazy. And then it's easy to get into these loans when you're an 18-year-old kid and you don't know shit. And if their parents don't know anything, now you're just
It's
signing on
killing
all of
people.
this debt.
It's killing people.
Yeah, so it's like you come out of school with just as an undergrad, 30, 40, $50,000 worth of debt for some people, and then if you get a master's degree, it can be like $100,000 worth of debt. That freaking kills me, like, because if people don't know about that system, and then you just it's no different than like with the athletics. They just take these kids who don't know anything, and they're like, here, come to our school.
Yeah, we'll give you money.
Yeah,
And you
so,
don't have to pay interest till you're done with school. And you're like,
dude, and
oh,
then
okay.
then the interest doesn't go away.
And then you think you're gonna get a great job right out of college, and that doesn't happen for everybody.
50-50 chance is what has been shown. Yeah, you need to have more trade schools.
Yeah, that's actually what I tell a lot of kids. Like I tell them like, look, school isn't for everybody.
Yeah,
You need to go to a trade school, pick up something, and you might even be able to find like a union job like right off the bat,
making some money,
making
man.
some good money.
Dude, I know people who like decided just to like go to barber school after high school and then like killing it today.
Yeah, everybody need their haircut.
For real,
For
man.
real, yeah.
Dude, and then they just get it completely like their whole schedule just full the whole way. Just
I mean, you think about it. If you charge, let's say you charge $20 a head.
good barbers charge more than that though. Double
I mean,
that.
yeah, I mean, the average on
But-
Illinois is like $20.
Okay,
Like
so
right,
$20 a head.
$20 a head, and you cut, let's just say minimum 20 guys on, let's say Friday and Saturday. You've made a killing
It's
and
like
working
$400.
in 2 days.
Yeah.
In 2 days, 2 days, and most barbers cut. They don't cut on Monday, so they cut Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Saturday they the whole day for the most part.
Yeah.
Dude, that's good money.
That's really good money. I wonder
Yeah.
how many like if they can get what 2 or 3 people in an hour maybe. I don't know how long it takes to cut a head.
Um, Depending on what kind of barber you got and what they want. Yeah, about 3 guys in about an hour.
Yeah. See, dude, you can make some good money, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have to go to like university for that.
Yeah.
I wish we kind of just told more kids that.
See, my barber, he literally takes about 20 minutes, but my barber has been cutting my hair in the same shop since I was 13.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So you just walk in, they know.
I just walk in. He know exactly what I want. Like I'll text him, and he'll say the chair. I'll come in. He'll have people lined up. I'll walk in. I jump in the chair. People like, who? And he like, cut my hair. Then I'm out. It's the same thing. I've been getting the same thing for years.
Hey man, that's money. That's love
Yeah.
right there.
Yep.
Just to have that routine. So, we've kind of alluded to your history some, but I want to like go over it for the listeners because
Okay.
people may not know. I know you're so humble about it, EJ.
I got you, bro. I got you.
But yeah, let's go back to the beginning some. I mean, you've been an athlete your whole life. So talk me back, like, what was your introduction to, athletics? I know, like,
Uh,
soccer and wrestling, but what is all that?
well, see, first sport. Actually, my first sport was soccer. Second grade, I had a buddy. He was on a soccer team, uh, and I was faster than him. He's like, "Dude, you should play for our team." I was like, "Okay." So he brought me to practice, and the coach was like, "I'll pay for this season," because I was like faster than everybody.
Okay.
So I played 1 year, and then I didn't play again until high school. Sixth grade, I played elementary basketball. Seventh grade, eighth grade basketball, ran track in middle school also. And then my freshman year, um, I got introduced to wrestling.
Yeah.
Best thing that ever happened to me.
Never wrestled a day before, just
Never
as a freshman.
as a freshman.
Dude, that's game changing. That's whenever I started wrestling too, as a
Yeah,
freshman. But you had a much more successful career than I did.
I had great coaches. I was blessed to have had the coaches that I walked in on.
Yeah. Why do
You
you say
know,
that?
because they were great. I
Yeah.
mean, the head coach, who was like a dad to me, I think he was an Olympic alternate in high school for judo.
No, nice.
He wrestled at Mizzou. He was ranked number one in the nation at one time. I think he took fourth. He placed twice. Big Eight champ. State champion. I think he won 4 Fargo titles. Like the dude is just an encyclopedia for wrestling.
Yeah.
He's forgotten more wrestling than I know. That's how much wrestling he knows. He was a great teacher. And then I had this other guy. He was an alumni from my school. He took second in high school. Then he went, took second in junior college, transferred to SIUE, and he won a D2 title.
Oh, nice.
And then his first year out of college, he was coaching at my high school. Like they actually both came at the same time. My freshman year was their first year coaching, and that's who I walked into. Like
Oh.
I couldn't have been learning from two better people, like this white guy who, not that race has anything to do with, who is just a god as far as knowledge goes with wrestling and a great teacher, and then this other guy, which I think is really important, who was from my hood, who was a black athlete who started learning wrestling as a freshman, coming back to teach kids like him.
Yeah.
So like I could relate to both of them, and like things that this other guy couldn't teach me, this guy could.
Yeah.
And stuff that he didn't know about, this guy did, and it was just like
It's perfect
it
balance.
was, man, it was great.
Was that an influence on you coming back and doing what you did?
Always, like I keep telling people, I'm living my dream right now.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy as a mug, man. And when I graduated high school, 2004, I said I was coming back to teach and coach at my hometown high school. That's my dream, to build a dynasty, to help these kids get out the way that I did and show them all the options that we got out there and show them that you can do it. Because at my school, if you're not a track star, football player, basketball player, a star in one of those sports, it's always like you can't make it.
Yeah.
And then they saw me do it. And I'm just like, look, man, you can do it this way.
Yeah, I'm dropping people on their head and doing it.
Yeah, on TV and looking good doing it.
Yeah.
Making good money. It took me to college, big time university.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, when I got that job, I was just like, this is
Yeah.
heaven.
Yeah, I can dig that for sure, and I can see now it makes sense having heard about this other coach who had did that,
Mm.
and like I mean that's like a good guy to like role model after. It's like, oh shit, man, he's doing that. I want to walk that path too. Like that totally makes
Yeah.
sense. So so through your high school, you were did you win state?
No, I took third.
Third in state. Your senior year,
Yeah.
and then you went JUCO.
hmm
Y-
And then the guy that beat me at state, I beat him in junior college at nationals, first round.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's that sweet revenge.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Man, I'm sure you do, but do you obsess over losses? Like when you lose, you're like, man, fuck. Like
Uh,
I still think about losses that I had. Like it's stupid shit, but it's like, man, damn.
the big ones.
Yeah.
I've had some big ones. Trying to think of ones. It's like basically if you beat me and we never had a chance to run it back. God, there's this one guy. Not even gonna say what town he's from, but we know a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
Now, remember, I started wrestling as a freshman.
Mhm.
My sophomore year, I got good fast.
Yeah.
My sophomore year was a year I really started to be good, but I wasn't great yet. Okay, like I was coming into being good.
Yeah.
Like the year before, I was just learning the sport.
Yeah.
So
Brand
my
new.
sophomore year was the year that I was starting to pick up on things, and I was starting to hang with good guys, but I wasn't able to beat them yet.
Yeah. Were you varsity the whole time?
The whole time, yeah, I was varsity as a freshman. I made varsity uh, mid-season, and that was epic. The way I did it, the way I challenged his upperclassmen, and the whole team was like, "Ooh!" And I barely beat him, but I beat him, and he was like, embarrassed. He's ready to fight.
Did you wrestle off in the practice room?
Yeah,
Everybody's watching.
yeah. 'Cause, dang, I got so many stories. The coach was like, he's calling out the line. He's like, "You're going 106. You're no 103. You're going 112." And I was wrestling 130 at the time. I was on JV, and that black coach, he was like, "Man, yeah, you something something." I was like 19-3 on JV, and I had won like 2 tournaments already on JV and freshman. He's like, "Yeah, you killing it on freshman, but that shit old." He was like, "You ain't shit till you on varsity. You ain't even had a varsity match yet. It's other freshmen in the lineup. How you gonna be the best freshman? You ain't even on varsity." And I was like, "Damn, he right." So then, coach got to my weight class. He told his junior, he was like, "You going 130?" And I was like, "No, he not." Whole team was like, "Ooh,
You Brooks talking shit.
ooh, little freshie over there." And then like, dude looked back, was like, "Pff, okay." So Waylon, my high school coach, he was like, "We got a challenge, man." I was like, "Yep," and I beat him. And they were like, "Oh, you lost a little freshman." Then I was varsity for the rest of the year.
Okay. What did that dude do? Did you like change weight
Uh,
classes, or just right out JV?
he just rolled out JV. Then he didn't wrestle the next year.
Of course not.
Yeah.
It happens.
So back to the
Yeah, the
story I was
loss.
telling, the
Yeah.
loss. So this guy, he was pretty good. He was a return to state qualifier. I was beating him, okay, and I was beating him in the regional finals in his hometown. I wasn't supposed to be beating him. This guy's a return state qualifier.
Yeah.
Uh, this black kid is from the ghetto school. He's not supposed to be this good. We think he just started wrestling last year. Why is he beating this guy? Crowd gets into it. The ref starts hitting me for stuff, and I'm just like, all right. So basically, I get forced into a situation where I have to do more, which I hate. I hate the way wrestling is sometimes. Like, if I'm winning and the match is like ending, I shouldn't have to be putting myself in, because every time you attack, you're exposing yourself.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I've attacked and dominated this match for, let's say, 5 minutes. It's a 6 minutes a match. Okay, now I have a lead that I really need to protect.
Yeah.
He has to come after me, and as long as I'm not turning around and running, I don't think I'm stalling.
Yeah. Why aren't you able to just like steadily defend?
Steadily defend. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, you
as
can't.
long as you're not like completely backing up, which I was never doing. So anyway, boom, I get hit for stalling,
Mm.
and my coach is like, "You have to shoot, or you get hit again." Cause I was only up by 1, and I shot. We got into a scramble. He took me down. He won,
Okay.
and I was just like, man. So this was my sophomore year. My junior year, because of progression, it's like Goku going into the hyperbolic chamber. I come out like, this is the year I go to state for the first time. But before, like we get there, like I'm running through everybody.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, they got off our schedule
Mm.
because I should have started to do it on a duel, and I should have saw them at a tournament. And that year, my junior year, they got out of the duel. That team didn't duel us, and they got out of the one tournament they were in with us. And I was just like, dude.
Man.
So we get to sectionals, bro. We get to sectionals. I'm in the finals. Now, here's the thing. I had beat the number 2 ranked dude in the state at my regional. Okay?
Okay.
Not the area,
The region.
not the state.
Oh, the
I'm
state.
saying, like, the dude that I beat in the finals or regionals was the number 2 ranked dude in the state.
Okay, I got you.
So, like, I'm the man right now. Dude, this guy is in triple overtime, and I'm just waiting because he's in the semis. He wins this match. He sees me in the finals. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and because the guy that I beat at regionals was wrestling him, and I think he was hurt, and he wasn't wrestling well or whatever. And I was like, all you gotta do is get away from this guy, and that's that ass in the finals. He didn't get away,
Oh
so
shit.
then he went took third, and I wrestled the other guy in the finals, and I'm sitting here like, I'm never gonna wrestle that guy.
Yeah, but you still kind of beat him though. Kind of.
No, I didn't, because we didn't wrestle. And the reason I'm bringing this up is to this day, mutual friends we have will be like, he beat you in high school. I mean, you did great and all, but he beat you in high
Oh,
school.
I hate when people do that
And I'm
shit, man.
like, and then I'll have kids, because he's a teacher. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
And they'll be
yeah.
like, hey, Mr. Such and Such said he beat you in high school. I'm like, dude, I'm about to choke Mr. Such and Such.
You never had that chance to redeem yourself.
Yeah. And now, like, I can't even call him out and be like, hey, man, meet me in the wrestling room, just for old time's sake. Because he's like half my size. He never grew.
Oh, it
You
wouldn't
know,
even be
like,
fair.
yeah, he's like 5'6", 140, flabby. And he's telling people he beat me, and I can't even argue. Dude, I'm like, oh, I'm like, a year later, I would have killed you. Dude.
Yeah, dude, that's
Like,
so funny.
oh, man, I hate it. I hate it. This literally, I literally just had a kid ask me about it last week.
Oh, for real?
Last week, last week.
Shit, you ready to go choke Mr. Such and Such out real quick?
Man, I
Drop
swear
him
I
on his
want
head.
to, man. Oh,
That's hilarious, dude.
yeah.
You know, these are the things that happen. You know, when you're an athlete, you just obsess over shit sometimes.
Yeah. And opponents, some people just, I think you're not a good athlete if you don't obsess about things. Because if you
Yeah.
don't care, you won't, you won't put in the work. You won't compete the way you need to.
Right. Or maybe even I can just extend that to like you're a high performer. You know what I mean? Whatever the field is. Like
Yeah.
if you're the best at what you do or you strive to be the best at what you're doing, then you just obsess over things. Yeah. So you placed as a senior and then so when you went JUCO, was that a full ride for that
Oh, yeah.
did you go for 1 year or two?
Two. I went two. I
Okay.
redshirted my sophomore year after I won it.
Okay. And then you won a national championship there, right?
Yeah, my freshman year.
Yeah.
Then I redshirted, so I stayed there.
Okay. I got which school is that?
Lincoln College,
Lincoln College.
Lincoln, Illinois.
Yeah. Why did you go that route?
Well, because I started as a freshman, I wasn't achieving accolades that would have equated to a D1 scholarship right out of school.
Okay.
Now, if I hadn't won state, the thing was the guy that beat me my senior year in the semis, he was number one in the nation.
Oh,
Like,
really?
he beat me in state, and then he won senior nationals. Okay?
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, in the year before that, I had a guy named Mike Poeta, who was number one in the nation as a junior. He beat me at state. So, like, my junior, senior year, when I'm good, like, really good,
You're losing to the best.
I'm losing to the best in the country.
Yeah.
Not, like, Illinois, like, I'm from Illinois, is one of the top 5 states every year
Yeah.
in the country. It's always Illinois, Pennsylvania, Iowa, Ohio, and then some random fifth state to jump in there. And in no particular order. Like, it could be PA number 1, Iowa number 2, Illinois could be number 4. Just they rotate. But if you're from one of those states, man, and you're a place winner, you're pretty good at wrestling.
Yeah.
So, like I said, my junior, senior year, I got the number 1 dude in the nation, keeping me from
That's a tough draw.
winning the title, So, yeah, I placed my senior year, and that got me a scholarship. Like, I had offers to go to D2, and the reason
Right.
why I went junior college was because I knew that the only way I was going to be able to go D1, which I knew I was good enough for, I was going to have to earn it by going to junior college and doing something there, which is what I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because I mean
Yeah.
I figured you probably had like D2 scholarships
Yeah.
or something, or
Yeah.
even NAI scholarships.
NAI, D2, D3. And then the school I went there in particular because, one, it was 2 hours away from home. Like, far away to not be close to home, but also close to home.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah.
It's nothing to drive back home.
Funny story about that school. At that time, including the black coach that I had, because he went there first. Remember I told you he went JUCO first, then he went D2 and won the title?
Yeah.
He took second in junior college his freshman year, then transferred to SIUE. He was the last one to go before me. The coach came and told me, this was his opening, like, selling point. He said, every kid from my high school, which was like 5 guys before me, were in the finals their first year there.
That's a good selling point.
Yeah, he was like, "You guys are a gold mine." He was like, "I know you guys started freshmen. Like he said, if you start as a freshman in Illinois and you end up placing, you're a diamond in the rough.
Mm.
You know, because you're going against guys who've wrestled their whole life,
Yeah.
and you got 4 years to catch up, and you get on that podium with them. They know, like he knows there's something special about you, and he saw who I lost to.
Yeah.
So he was like, if these guys don't know, I know.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy thinks I'm gonna be in the finals. I was like, and then the guy that beat me at state, even though he won senior nationals, he's recruited by D1 schools. He didn't have the grades, so guess where he had to go?
He went to the same school?
He went JUCO,
Yeah.
but he went to school in Iowa.
Oh, okay.
So now I'm talking about my title, which was so great because there's 10 weight classes in college, so there were 10 number ones. We were voted. Our weight class was voted the toughest weight class. It was deep. It was deep. Our weight class was so deep.
What weight class were you at that time?
I was at 149.
Okay.
Going into nationals, I was ranked number 7. At one point in time, I was number 3.
Oh shit. That's
Like
a stacked
literally, it
division.
was like from 3 down to 10 could have been anybody. Like I said, first preseason rankings because I had upset some guys. I was number 3
Uh-huh.
behind the dude who beat me at state. He was number 2, and this dude who was number 1. He was 27 years old, by the way. He was a 3-time national champion in Poland.
Oh, that changes things too.
Yeah.
Like he's like a grown man.
He was a grown man.
Yeah.
Dude, so he was ranked number 1. He was a turned All-American. I think he had took 4th the year before. He was number 1. This guy was number 2. I was number 3. This first preseason, first season rankings. They weren't preseason rankings. And then by the end of the year, because of tournaments, going into nationals, I was ranked number 7. And I was just like, all right. The guy that beat me at state, he was in the same conference as the number 1 guy. Because that guy was at an Iowa school. And he lost to him. So that guy was a regional champion or a conference champion, which meant he had to win a match and then feed into somebody who won their conference, which was me. I won my conference, and my first round match was the guy who beat me at state and won high school nationals. Great story.
Dude, you probably were amped for that.
Dude, you don't even know. So the brackets come out the week before nationals. And we're on campus, and our coach sends us a group text, and he's like, I'm in the dining hall with the brackets. Get over here. So we all like heading over there after class. I'm walking in, and half my team was already in there, and they just got this look. They're all ecstatic. They're like, oh, shit, bro. They run up to me. They're like, you got such and such first round. And I'm like, all right.
It's all nonchalant.
Like, nobody gave a shit about their own bracket. Like, my whole team qualified. We qualified 10 guys. Nobody gave about their bracket. Everybody cared about mine. And I was saying, like, all right. I get to the table. My coach hands me my bracket, and he looks at me. I just set it out on the table, and I go get my food, and I eat. Just recently, like a year or two ago, he told me, like I said, I went to the Nationals ranked number 7. He said he knew then I was going to win nationals. And I was like, why? He said, when I handed you your bracket, I wanted to see your reaction to you knowing who you had first round. And I truly saw that you didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another day in the office.
Yeah, because I thought I was better than that guy. Like,
Yeah.
I had seen him. Like, during that year, like I said, that progression, like I would progress really fast. I was in a tough room with, like, man, the dude above me was ranked number 1 at 57. The dude above him was ranked number 3. I 74 pound was ranked number 1. Like I was ranked number 7 on my team, and I wasn't even like 8th best guy on our starting lineup.
Dude, you guys were
Like
were
25 was
stacked.
ranked 4th, 33 was ranked 4th. Our 41 wasn't ranked. I was the 49. I was 7th. Our 57 was 1. Our 65 was 3rd. Our 74 was 1. Our 84 wasn't ranked. Our 97 was 3. And our heavyweight was 4.
Dude, that's a deep room, dude.
Yeah, the deep room, yeah.
A lot of good athletes go that route, man. They go
Yeah.
JUCO, like, just to, I don't know, just that in between year, between going D1.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a good test. Sometimes you don't know if you want to wrestle in college, so why not go to a 2-year school, give it a year. You don't want to come back for the second one, no harm, no foul. Give it 2 years. You end up with your associates, and you're like, okay, do I want to transfer and keep doing this, or am I done?
Yeah.
And I tell a lot of kids you can do that. You either go to trade school or go to JUCO because you're on the fence about it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude. So you beat that dude?
So I beat him. Oh, he was so cocky, dude. I could just see it. I saw him at weigh-ins, and he just thought he was gonna run through me because he beat me pretty handily in high school. And then just basically I dominated him, dude. Beat him, and then I just smoked my way. Like me and him, we had a good match, but I was like dominating him.
Yeah.
But then like the next couple guys, like I smoked them, made it to the finals, and then I had that number one guy, and like I kind of thought that I wasn't the better wrestler, even though I won. But when I look back on it, I think I was.
Yeah.
I was kind of trying to be humble about it. Like I was the worst matchup for him. He wasn't good on bottom because he was European.
Yeah.
Like he was used to freestyle. Like if you were good on top, he couldn't get away from you. If you were good on top. Now if you weren't good on top, he could get away from you. Now when I say I was good on top, like I wasn't a leg rider. I was a cross wrist guy, a spiral ride. You didn't get away from me. Like I remember in high school, some coaches from other programs in the area would be like, I remember it was a compliment. They said, "You're the most college ready guy in our area. The way you wrestle is the way they wrestle in college. Nobody's running takedown clinics. They're taking people down, not giving up takedowns. They're riding people out, returning them when they get up to their feet." And that's what I did. Like when I got on top of you, I didn't always turn you. I rarely turned anybody, but I was
Yeah.
working. And if you got to your feet, I dropped you on your head. You didn't stand up again.
Yeah.
You'd roll. I'd roll with you. And then I just rode you out for 2 minutes. And I'm finna get down and you not finna ride me out.
Yeah, dude, that's a big separation between
Yeah.
high school and college wrestling is like the level of like pressure and intensity when people are riding.
Yeah.
Like
And it's like that's the difference between Missouri and Illinois. I'm telling you right now, that is the biggest difference.
what is
The mat wrestling
okay.
in Illinois, oh, they let you ride. Like you're on top. Even if you're not turning somebody, you got to earn your way up. In Missouri, if you riding and you ain't turning, boop, we want you on your feet. They want it exciting.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, like in Missouri, it's all takedowns. They got to keep, because that's what's interesting.
Yeah.
Like nobody, unless you're a true wrestling fan, they want to see nobody just on the mat getting grinded out.
Yeah.
Nobody really scoring.
Yeah, I used to throw on legs and just turn people.
I can see that.
I was a sick leg rider.
Yeah.
Not many people did it in the big weight classes.
Oh yeah, then you were killing people. Then.
Yeah. So what made you go to Mizzou then? So you won nationals, man, and I'm sure you're probably getting pretty heavily recruited.
Yeah,
What made you go that route?
My high school coach, the white guy, he went there. Told you All American there, won conference titles. My mom was a big factor. She is only 2 hours away as well.
Yeah. Just went 2 hours the other direction.
Yeah, 2 hours the other direction. She wanted to be able to come see me. She always wanted to go there, but she had a kid. She had a kid in middle school, which was me. So she was like, "Oh, it was always my dream to go away to school there, and I had a scholarship to go there, but I didn't want to leave you, because her foster mother offered to watch me while my mom went to school,
Okay.
and my mom didn't want to do that. So my high school coach went there. He wanted me to go. My mom always wanted to go there, so she was like, "I'll live through you." So I went there.
Mm.
Turned down some good schools like Nebraska, Michigan State,
Yeah.
Iowa. Like Iowa was recruiting me and everything.
Yeah, dude. But I mean, you went to a room full of killers. I mean, while you were there, I mean,
Askren was there.
a lot of big names. Both the Askren brothers were there. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, and Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley was a big factor for me going there too. I
Yeah.
was a fan of his.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Tyron, and then I mean, I don't know if I should say you're not his biggest fan.
You can say his name. Whatever.
But I mean, Chandler was there
Yeah,
as well.
Chandler
I
was there.
mean, and he's obviously killing it with what he's doing now. So I mean, just a lot of big names in that a lot of people would recognize in that room.
Yeah. I don't even get mad. When people bring him up, they're like, "Man, you hate that guy." I'm like, nah, not really.
Yeah, I mean, I would figure at this point
Well,
in the
yeah.
game, it just is what it is.
Yeah. I'm happy with my life. Hope he's happy with his.
Yeah, you guys had you guys kind of butted heads a few times in the wrestling
Man,
room, though.
literally, he was a headbutter.
Yeah.
He was.
What was it like being on that team, though? I mean,
Uh,
a lot of good guys. You guys went all over the country at a lot of good competition.
to be honest, man, like it wasn't that great.
No?
When I first, and some people might not like this opinion. When I first got there, it wasn't black friendly on that wrestling team.
Oh,
It's way different now,
yeah.
but like when I got there, here's the thing. I knew I was gonna have a problem. My girlfriend at the time, I got back with this girl over the summer, from my home area. She was from a country white town. All right, she was a white girl. Okay. She went up there, was in a sorority. She had money. Okay. So she picked me up from my dorm and we went to lunch. And I was like, all right, I gotta get to practice. So school hasn't started yet. We're like in that couple weeks. They got rush week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm driving her car because I know where the stadium's at. I'm not gonna be directing you where I need to go. So I'm driving her car, and she used to be a cheerleader. So she's got that cheerleader body. She got on booty shorts, nice t-shirt. She was
Yeah.
a good-looking girl.
She's fit.
Yeah. We pull up to the stadium, and I see some of my teammates walking in. She's got to get out the car. I got to get out the car so she can go to the driver's seat. She gets out. I walk around the car, and like as she's walking towards me, I can see some of my teammates in the distance looking like, damn. So I grab her, give her a kiss, and then leave. I get to the door, and like two of them are waiting on me. They're like, dude, is that your girlfriend? And I was like, yeah. They were like, no shit. And I was like, yeah. And then like they like run, they sprint to the locker room. I'm walking still. And I'm like, she's cute. She ain't that hot. Like they act like she's like a 10 or a supermodel. She was like an 8,
She's a maximum model.
7.5, like I was doing all right. So I get to the locker room, nobody's in there. Like I guess I'm running late. I get upstairs, and Ben Askren goes, I heard you got a white girlfriend and she's not fat.
The fuck? Why?
I said, what?
Why would he say?
Dude, he was dead serious.
Just dead ass
He
serious.
was like, I thought black guys only dated fat white girls. And he wasn't even trying to be offensive. That's what I'm saying. Like, he was really that
just
ignorant.
being genuine.
Like, that's what these guys thought of black guys who dated white girls. That every white girl that dated a black guy was either dirty and trashy or she was fat and ugly.
Yeah.
So when they found out that I had one who wasn't, you know,
You shifted their paradigm.
dude, and honestly, man, like they didn't like it. Like that whole school year, like, cause me and her broke up like a couple months later.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I was hooking up with some of the, like, I mean, I was hooking up with black girls too. So don't just think I was like hooking up with only white girls. But when it was a white girl and she was attractive, like one of the hot soccer players or something,
Yeah.
it was an issue.
Huh.
Like I remember two girls. I was in one of the dining halls, like later in the school year. Just came out of nowhere. They're like, EJ, you're really not that bad of a guy. And I'm like, whoever said I was? Like, well, to be honest, like we always wanted to hang out with you, and she wanted to hook up with you, but your teammates told us that if we touched you, we were dirty.
For real?
Yeah,
Man.
dude.
People are weird, man.
Yeah, like I was like, man. So and that's just so I'm just saying like that was a problem just from like the dating perspective. Then it was like culturally they would say stuff like, "Oh, we're having this party. It's going to be this much money. How much money do you have?" And I'm like, "Well, I just gave my refund check to my mom." They're like, "Why would you do that? You don't have to do that. Your mom should be giving you money." And I'm like, I'm not in that situation, dude.
It's different. Yeah.
It's different. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm happy to give my mom money. I don't need to go to this party. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand it. Like, they just didn't understand me. They didn't want to relate. And I would say the biggest problem I had when I was at Mizzou was conforming. You
Yeah.
know, black guys played a certain role. Then they white girls. You know, you acted what they thought black guys should act like. Oh, you should have cornrows. You should be able to rap. You should be able to dance. You know, like get out of my face with that stereotypical bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, the biggest thing as far as conforming goes was when you knew coach favored somebody in your weight, you bowed down. You didn't challenge that guy. And I'm like, I didn't come here to ride a bench.
Yeah.
They recruited me to win titles. I can't win titles unless I'm the guy.
Right.
And the only way you can be the guy is if you challenge for that spot and win. And that's what I did
Yeah.
every time. So we had guys who were just happy to be able to say, you know what, girl, I'm a Mizzou wrestler. Google me. Like literally, I saw that in the bar. My teammates go, look me up. I'm on the roster. And girls like, oh my God, you're a wrestler. I'm like, dude, like you just happy with being from West Virginia, all the way out here in Mizzou, picking up chicks, let them know you're an athlete, and it works.
Yeah.
You have no aspiration of being an All-American, a champion. You just want to be on the roster.
Yeah.
So when we win a team title, you can say, hey, I was on that team that took third and this and that. But you really weren't. Unless you were, the way I look at it, unless you were in nationals placing or scoring team points, you weren't on that team that won those titles.
Yeah.
You were on the roster, but you weren't on that team.
Yeah, a lot of people like to identify with something larger than themselves. And
Yeah.
you see it all the time. They'll talk about the Cardinals. You probably do it. You say we when you
Yeah,
talk about
oh yeah. I was in the stands. I was at the game.
we
bought my
champions,
tickets.
baby. We
Yeah,
champions.
yeah.
People love that
Yeah.
shit though, man.
We came back.
Yeah.
We came back. Game 7. I synced it. I bought him a shot of pepper. We were at Pepper Lounge. I bought him a drink.
Oh man, yeah. You're hanging with the crew then.
Actually, I really was. I didn't buy him a drink though. David Freese came in the freaking Pepper Lounge one night. It was shortly after they won the World Series. He had a baseball hat and he pulled his hat down. He's walking by me. I said, "Yeah, Dave, you don't look like David Freese with a baseball hat on." He just started rolling, dude. He started rolling.
That's
I was
funny.
like, "Come on,
That's
man."
the worst fucking like disguise.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, dude.
Oh.
Man, you
So
think
basically,
yeah.
my bad. Just finishing that
Yeah,
point.
keep going.
The fact that I kept beating Chandler, and fighting the powers that be to be the man, and then lay down and serve my role as like a glorified backup.
Yeah.
Like there were guys on the team who didn't like that. They resented that. Like, why don't you just be happy with being on the team and stop challenging? I'm like, why?
Yeah, just be
I know
happy
I'm
where
good
you
enough
are.
to be an All-American at least, and I got to sit back and watch this guy get, because he didn't earn it, because he didn't beat me. You know what I'm saying? I have to watch him get the opportunity to place. That sucks. And he's losing the guys that I beat.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like the dude who won it my senior year, I had beat the season before.
Mm.
And I had to sit here and watch guys that I beat All-American and then watch this guy win a national title D1. And I could never say that I was a D1 All-American.
Oh, I thought you were.
No.
Damn. Yeah, that's frustrating.
As hell.
Yeah, man. A lot of people work a lifetime for
Now, you want
that.
to talk about stuff you obsess about. I obsessed about that for years. I feel like I just recently got over that
You just
a couple
not
years
getting
ago.
terms.
Yeah. It took about 10 years for that to kind of like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you think some of that shit that you're facing was just the fact, like, in the area that you're in, like, you're in the Midwest, you're in Missouri, as opposed to, like, if you would have went to, I mean, I can't really think of any big, like, D1 schools.
I had to be
like,
somewhere out in California
yeah,
or something, man.
that's what I was thinking, like, California, but, I mean,
And the time period now, everything like homosexuality is big. Everything's so acceptable now.
it's a little bit different. For
Yeah,
sure.
like I said, the team now is different.
Yeah.
It's black friendly now. Back then, when I was on the team, you played a role.
Well, you got studs like Jaden Cox, shining
Yeah.
light on your program. I hope,
Yeah,
I'd hope so.
yeah.
He's
No, he's a good kid.
a good kid, dude. I
Yeah.
used to watch him in Kids Club. He like the same
Yeah.
age as my little brother. I can just remember him in Kids Club and in high school and just teching fools like he was nothing. I'm like, that's a grown man, like
Dude,
going with little
huge.
boys.
Yeah,
And his whole family is just sick ass wrestlers.
Yeah, his brother Dre was pretty good. Lindenwood.
Yeah, no, Dre. I wrestled his older brother Zach Arnold in high school.
Oh, I didn't know they had another brother.
Yeah, dude, their whole family wrestles. They even have like an older uncle and whatnot. But yeah, his last name's Arnold as opposed to Cox. He was a senior whenever I was a junior. I never beat him though. We wrestled like 2 or 3 times. He'd always beat me by like one. It's always like 2 to 3, 1 to 2, like those matches.
Those the ones that suck.
Dude, those frustrate the fuck out of you, bro. Because you're like wrestling your ass off and like you're just fighting for a takedown or you're fighting for an escape or just something. It's like,
They always get that one point. Like he took you down one time, or he got you hit for stalls this one time, or he turned you this one time. It's never even always the same way he beat you. And
yeah,
yeah,
it's never like this domination
yeah,
thing. It's just like, boom, he got that edge and he held it.
yep.
Mm. Those are the things that make you better. All right, dude. So what's next for you? I know we've covered a lot. We could probably keep fucking talking, but I want to be respectful of your time.
No, that's all good. Right now, I just finished my off-season wrestling schedule,
Right.
so I got tournaments in April, June, and July. Three events for my kids, and then basically I just got in the gym. I just started training kind of like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So hopefully fighting in April or May. Like we literally working on it right now.
Yeah.
So
Training's probably a lot different nowadays, right? Because I mean, you know how to fight.
yeah,
You've done that a fucking ton.
it's basically getting in shape.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's literally just getting in shape, and yeah, I mean I'm not really trying to learn new things. It's
Yeah.
you
There's
know
no point.
yeah.
Yeah. Are you gonna fight at 70, or are you gonna do like a catch weight at 65 or?
Man, I wish they would make it 65. Cause
Dude,
man, I don't know if I can ever make 55
yeah,
again,
I don't think
dude.
55 is in your.
Yeah, dude, I'm so
that's
thick,
behind it.
man. I'm
Yeah.
so thick. And I'm too short.
Well, and you're older, dude. What, you
Yeah.
32 now?
33.
33 now.
I'll be
You-
34 in November.
Dude, fuck yeah, I'll be 32 in December. So like the cutting weight is not the same.
It's not. It's
It's-
harder.
Yeah.
It's pointless, man. I'm kind of fighting for fun.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to pay. Like right now, I'm an organization. You want to pay me good money to fly all over the world, which I always wanted to do. You know, and fight competition that's good but not good enough to beat me. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You know, then I ain't got to cut that much weight because I'm cutting to 70. I'm like,
And you're enjoying it.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
Checking out cool ass places, getting paychecks.
Yeah.
That's all positive, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is the goal to even like try to get signed by the UFC anymore, or you're just kind of like
Not
a
really,
journeyman at
man.
this point?
It's just like I just got engaged. I'm gonna get married in August. I'm kind of like transitioning. I'm like, I got my dream job, head coach, about to start my family. I think I got like 2 years left.
Yeah.
You know, I'm on a big winning streak right now. They haven't came calling. If I keep winning, they don't call. It's just like
Yeah. You've done a lot in the
I've
sport.
done a lot. Yeah.
Dude, you've done a lot in the sport. I mean, the early days of Bellator, you
Yeah.
were fucking racking off wins. Yeah, that's whenever they still had the tournament,
Yeah.
and I know that just kind of just fell through with the deal that was going on.
Yeah.
But dude, you even stuck through it. You had a fucking losing streak there for a
Man,
second.
That sucked.
Dude,
That sucked so bad.
most people would not have stuck that shit out.
Man, and it was heartbreaking because at least two of those fights during that losing streak, I legitimately got screwed,
Yeah,
and that it was just so hard. It was like, man, I can't win. And then you look at the fight, and everybody's like, oh, dude, you got effed. And then I go watch it, and I'm just like, I got effed so bad right there.
Yeah.
Like how, you know,
dude. Yeah, that's frustrating. But you stuck it out, right? And then you
Stuck
racked
it
off
out.
what, like 6 wins in a row now?
it's 5.
5 in a row?
Yeah.
About to be 6 in a row.
About to be
Like,
6.
dude, that's a huge testament to just like your will.
Yeah. If I can end it strong, you know, like end it, you know, winning 8 of my last 10 or just winning my last 8, you
Yeah.
know. Because if I win 3 more fights, honestly, man, I'm really going to reevaluate, like, why am I still doing this?
Yeah, dude. You know what I would like to see you get into is PFL.
PFL?
I mean, it's pretty new. They just had
Yeah, I know. I'm actually, right now,
$1 million.
I
Bro.
really want to get in Risen.
Oh yeah,
Because in Asia, that's the only place I ain't fought yet.
yeah.
Like,
That'd be cool.
that'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean,
you
you're
know.
gonna have to fight some people on steroids, but
I'm fighting people on steroids now.
That's true.
ACA. The last two guys, you see? Did you see the last two guys I fought? I was
Yes,
like,
dude, big
oh
as
man,
fuck. Like,
dude,
what?
the Australian dude, he was roided out. The Russian dude, he was,
Oh, you know.
bro. He was in the sauna with me, shredded. You seen the new Creed?
I haven't seen it yet.
That's who I fought. They actually look alike.
For real?
He's like the smaller version of that guy.
No, he's a
Like that's
Drago
exact.
Jr.
He was in the sauna right across from me, and I'm just checking the dude out, no homo, and I'm like, look at this dude. There's no way he's not on steroids. He had muscles on his muscles.
Yeah, his pecs had pecs.
Oh man, then I beat that ass.
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he just kept. Yeah, you dropped. Man, that was a good fight. I did
Yeah.
watch that one. Shit, man. Well, you're on a hell of a journey, dude.
Yeah.
You're on a hell of a
Blessed,
journey,
blessed.
yeah. But I just, I know I saw that PFL. I think like $1 million check would be really nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what
I
it
mean, I'm
is.
down for whatever, to be honest. If
Yeah.
you're gonna pay me and put me on TV, I'm gonna take it.
It's all bonus at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah, pretty much. Just
Yeah.
adding on to my career. Basically, if I could say I did everything but the UFC, I've had a better career than most people that get in this.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, already. You know, I
Yeah.
think I could retire right now, and 90% of people who get in this sport will not have a better career than me.
Yeah. Did you also fight on Strike Force when they were around? No.
Almost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like literally, I almost got 2 undercard fights. One fell through, and then the other one was, it was either sign with Bellator or take this 1 fight deal with Strikeforce, and that was a no-brainer. I was like, I'm signing with Bellator.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It kind of, I mean, in hindsight, it might have been cool to take that one fight just so you could say like you fought on that promotion, like knowing
Yeah.
that they're not there
Yeah.
anymore. But I mean, Bellator is a good move too.
Yeah.
Shit. All right, brother. So I'm gonna turn over the floor to you. If there's like anything that you wanted to like plug or direct people to, sponsors, your socials, whatever, it's up to you.
Social handles, ejizzle149. Yeah, I don't even want to get it. They been calling me ejizzle since like grade school.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Pretty boy EJ Brooks MMA is my Facebook fan page. Collegiate Wrestling, my wrestling fan page. Follow my guys. St. Charles MMA. Poster Boy Fighters, my management company. Plug my parents, you know.
Yeah.
My fiance, you know, my support system, my best friends, you know, my team, everybody, you know.
Right on.
That's about it off the top of my head, man.
I can dig it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Hey, look, I really appreciate you.
I
sitting
appreciate
down,
you having
brother.
me, man. Yeah.
Everybody, until next time.